So this session is about, it's a workshop, which is about unlocking EU opportunities and how to secure innovation funding. We're going to work quite practically here in with specific open calls. Before we start, we have with us Mr. Dimitrios Tsiodras, member of the European Parliament and spokesperson of the EPP group, representing the political party of New Democracy. Mr. Tsiodras just met with representatives of the tech parks and science parks of the Alliance, thanks to which we are all here today. And I would like to invite him to share a few words with us. Mr. Tsiodras, thank you.
Thank you for the invitation, and I'm happy to see here friends from countries of the region, the friends from Turkey, the friends from Bulgaria, the friends from Serbia. Innovation is one of the big challenges for the European Union since we are left behind China and the United States of America. It is one of the big challenges because if we have as a target to improve the standard of living of the European citizens and to catch up and to be competitive in a global scale, we have to invest in this sector. Horizon was a program at InvestEU, were two programs that helped a lot in order to create an ecosystem of innovation at startup companies in Europe. But it's not enough. We are still live behind the European Union, behind the United States and China. The architecture of new MFF is going to be different. We have to centralize the funding because now we have 50 different funding programs in the European Union. The target is to have 14 and to put money on policies, not just in programs. To say that we have to put money where will create an advantage for the European Union and the citizens. And to do that, we have to overcome to, let's say, valleys of death for the innovators in the European Union. The first valley of death is the commercialization. To have an idea and to become a project. Because we have a lot of good ideas, we have the potential, we have scientists, we have academians, we have experts to gain European money, but we have no products. So we have to focus and to put money where we can create value. So it means to create products that are in the European market. The second valley of death is to scale up. Because we have a lot of startups and we have not enough money to scale up. This difficulty is a matter of culture, of course, because in the United States of America, it's a total different situation where you need money. You can't find money from the private sector. Let's say that in the last years, we have a gap of some billions of, no, here we are. From 16 to 24, venture capital has invested $932 billion in innovation, and in the European Union, the total amount is 133. You can see the difference. And there are money in Europe, but this money are not invested in the real economy, in innovation, but are parked in banks or in bonds that have a low interest. They can create value for Europe, but because of the mentality in the European Union, there is no this opportunity. So we have to improve the venture capital market in order to, along with the European money, to have investment in these sectors in terms of innovation and so on. And of course, to improve the funding and to reduce bureaucracy. Because if you have an idea, the project, and submit a proposal in the United States of America, you need 90 days to get a permission of a rejection. In the European Union, you need 1 year. You can see the difference. So we have to pour money on the New Horizon program, which is going to be doubled since it is today. So there are money available on these sectors to reduce bureaucracy and to mobilize investment, especially to create a market of venture capital who is not existed now in the European Union. This is the challenges we face. We know the problems, but it's a term of growth for Europe to invest in this sector, to reduce bureaucracy, to pour money in the innovation sector that are in place where we have create some products, and of course to mobilize private money that are in abundance in the European Union but are not invested in this sector we discuss. Thanks a lot for it's an introduction. I think that we'll have the opportunity to discuss on these issues. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. So the goal of this session, we have prepared, Natasha has prepared, she's going to be the main facilitator, yes, thank you. So we have 5 open calls that we have chosen. We have sent them to some of you. You must have picked 1 or 2 of them. We're going to present them now. We're going to say which kind of programs these are. And we are willing to submit at least 3 proposals. We are willing to see at least 3 consortia being shaped after today's meeting. So either by hands or applause, or I don't know how you're going to do it, Natasha, we're going to see which these 3 calls are going to be. We're going to set up follow-up meetings with people who are going to sign up for these specific calls, and we're going to manage them. This doesn't mean we're going to appear as the coordinator of the proposal, but we're going to manage them, and we're going to have Mr. Tsiodras know that we're going to submit these proposals and see what happens. Okay. Thank you. Yes, thank you very much. We dismiss you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining us. Thank you dearly.
I had the opportunity to answer 1 or 2 questions.
Of course, yes, yes. Is there anyone who would like to ask something to Mr. Tsiodras? Everything was clear?
Yeah, I see a raising.
Yes.
Popping.
Hi, my name is Caroline Petruzzi-Mikel. I'm based in Paris. I'm a project developer, and I also support a lot of startups, especially in the agri and the energy sector. And my question for you is, I understand the challenges that you raised about financing, and I do believe that in Europe we are struggling with potentially a liquidity crisis across Europe. There's a real lack of appetite for lending, and that's an issue that is across the EU. But my question is, in light of this gap that you raise, how can we work with industry? How can we work with civil society to push forward the projects that need to be developed, even in financial conditions that are stressful?
Yes, I believe that there is not a liquidity crisis in the European Union. There are trillions of euros that are parked in banks or in bonds.
Lending appetite.
It's not state money or European money. It's private money. So we have to create incentives in order to be invested in the real economy. And what is the incentives? Let's say that we can provide guarantees for some of the investments. I think that we have the example for the InvestEU, where, we have mobilized 67% of money were private money. So we have to provide guarantees in order to invest and to pour this money in the real economy, into startups and so on. It's also a matter of the mentality in the European Union, because at the banks, at the financial institutions are, let's say, conservative or risk averted. So we have, yes, to give guarantees and to try with many ways. The European Investment Fund, the target for this fund is to pour money in the economy. I think that is a vehicle to exploit all the opportunities we have, the money we have parked in banks and bonds, and to create value, because now they have the opportunity to invest, let's say, in the United States of America. We have 300 billion euros that are invested outside the European Union. We have to mobilize this money in Europe. It's a pity. Yes. And we have companies that are thirsty for money.
Sorry, I would like also to add an information in our discussion. Unfortunately, in our world, the European Union is not alone. It's not the only one player in the market. Now the big player become maybe, or soon will become, China. The problem is the money exists, but the problem is also taxes. And standard taxes now, it's around maybe, if you added VAT plus 40 profit tax, sometimes it's around 40 to 45 or 49% in each country. It's not only a problem in Greece, but in whole Europe. So yes, we have money, but the taxes is so high for the business and even for small companies. If you compare now in China, small companies instead around average 20% that is in Europe, 21% average VAT, is only 3% VAT, or sometimes 1% VAT. And the profit tax for small companies is 5% VAT, profit tax. So imagine that a small company in China has total tax 6 to 8% maximum, and in the European Union 49. How can be competitive the small European companies, even with so much money, when they have competition from China? Thank you.
I don't think that we can compare the European Union with China, not only in the field of taxes, but let's say in the field of salaries. That there are not the same, and not only in the terms of salaries. There are substituted from the Chinese state that is not allowed in the European Union. So there is no comparison between the economy of China and the European Union. So, but European Union is a market of 450 million people. It is a vibrant market. It's, along with the United States of America and China, it's the biggest market in the world. The problem is that we have not a single market. We have 27 different markets. So we can't exploit the potential of the single market in the European Union. It's the potential of 450 million people who are well paid. It's not the standards of China or of India, let's say. So I think the harmonization of policies between the European states, the taxation is as you know, national policy. It's not a European policy. So every state has its different taxation system. It's very difficult to see that we'll have a European tax systems because we have to fund different spectrum of social policies in every state. So it's not easy to say that we have the same standards as the European Union. But I think that if we have a single market, a real single market, if we reduce bureaucracy, if we mobilize private money to create incentives in order to be mobilized in the European Union instead of going elsewhere in globe, we'll have the potential to catch up and to be competitive in the global scale. Although we'll have higher taxes because we have to fund a lot of policies, let's say social policies, the welfare state that exists only in Europe, not the United States of America, nor in China.
Sorry, that I would like just to add an information. An average engineer in China has higher salary now than an average Greek engineer in Greece. And the percentage of the workers, now the salary in China is about 70 to 80% of a Greek worker, not a refugee. So now the gap is not so big as 10 years ago.
Of course it's not, but if the gap is closing and not widening, it means that the means of production are more expensive. It's not the same as the cheap labor it was 20 years ago. So we have the advantage and a disadvantage. And also, if they have money, they're going to buy at European products. French, of course, but okay, at Greek, maybe.
Great, thank you. Let's see what we can do with the European money now here. And whoever wants to exchange, views about China.
Thank you for your attention. Please let me, because I have to go to a Green because I have a meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Theodoros.
Thank you.
Okay, everyone. Now we have approximately half an hour for our workshop. It's not a lot, but let's use it towards our best benefit. So, have you all received one of these printed papers? If not, my good colleague Poppy will hand one for you. Okay, so the idea is for this workshop to be the first step for creation of proposals, as Maria mentioned in the beginning. So what we're going to do today with our limited time is to create some groups where you will get to introduce to each other. And the most important is that we have your name and contact, the papers that you see to the contact list there. So the idea is that according to this contact list, we will form groups where we will discuss specific ideas. You can propose specific partners. You can address specific challenges for one or more open call. So in case you're interested in joining more than one group, and today it's not, you are only one and you cannot split yourself, the technology is not so far yet developed, you will need to write your name in one or more lists. Is that clear? Okay, so for topic number 1, it's the EIC Pre-Accelerator. It's part of the Waidera program. We included this call. It's for startups, so we're not talking about consortiums. And it's about receiving funding for accelerating a specific technology that you already have as a startup. The deadline is 18th of November, so it's quite close. But we included this in case someone is interested. In case someone is interested, you can join the corner of my good colleague Stella. Stella, can you raise your hand? Okay. Stella will also handle the group under the topic, topic 3, which is in page, let me find it. So, page 2, topic 2, competitiveness, energy security and integration aspects of advanced biofuels and renewable fuels of non-biological origin value chains. This is a cluster 5 call. The deadline is on 17th of February. There are approximately 2 project ideas that will be funded. So if anyone wants to join this group, is your person. Okay, then we're moving on to AEA, page number 5. So here we're talking about the call that has to do with expanding innovation ecosystems. Approximately 5 proposals will be funded. The deadline is 20th of January. Plenty of opportunities here. If you want to discuss and be part of this group, join my good colleague Maria. Maria, raise your hand. Okay. And then we have in page 7, we included this call because it's very relatable for. Okay, take it. I have my cell phone for the time also. So we have page 7. The topic is number 4, scaling up deep tech ecosystems. It's again a Horizon AEA proposal under Connect 03. The deadline is 20th of January. We included this proposal because it's especially relevant for tech parks, but unfortunately only 1 proposal will be funded. So we are not telling you to put all your eggs in this basket because you have only a small percentage of success rate. Okay, and last but not least, we have the topic. If you're interested for this topic, you can join my good colleague Anna with Maria. Raise your hands, please. Yes, another Maria. And last but not least, 11th page, we have the topic number 5, which is the non-program, I3. It's the call regarding capacity building strand 2B. And it's basically helping SMEs and innovation ecosystems to build their capacity to attract foreign investors in different sectors. We chose today to speak about agri-food, ICT, the themes of the SEEIC challenge as well. So if you want to join this group, you come to me. I raise my hand as well. Okay, the deadline is 19th of March. The proposals that will be funded are more than the other calls. So yeah, let's do that. So let's stand up and pick our groups and continue the discussion. And don't forget to fill out the contact lists because that's when and how we will communicate with the groups and build the next steps, okay? Is it clear? Anybody has a question about the procedure? Okay, so join your corners. I3 here. Topic 5, don't be shy. You can join us here.
Yes, my question.
Okay, everyone, please don't forget to include your names in the contact list. And we would like to thank you very much for being part of this workshop. And let's hope that this will be the beginning of a successful proposal submission and why not a successful new project.
Hello, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us. So the goal of this session is to show how European and regional instruments like I3, RIS3, and local programs can actually empower innovators, startups, clusters, tech parks to collaborate beyond borders. I will say a few words about our speakers because I think it's important to know who you're going to listen to. The lady of the company, Maya Ferlinch, she is the EU policymaker, a project advisor, a European Innovation Council and SMEs executive agency in EISMEA. She has worked as an EU advisor for the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Slovenia. She continued as a senior economic advisor for the Slovenian Business and Research Association for 18 years, and then used this experience to join EISMEA 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah? Good. Then I proceed to Mr. Dimitris Kouretas, a professor, entrepreneur, and politician. He is the governor of the region of Thessaly, where we are located now. Except for him being our governor, he studied pharmacy. His PhD is in biochemistry. He spent some years in Harvard, and he currently is a professor at the University of Thessaly, where he does research, while also being the founder of the company Foodoxys, which focuses on functional nutrition. His work in food innovation has been awarded in Greece and the EU. Welcome. I proceed to Mr. Yannis Stolias, the technocrat. He is the director of RIS3 of the Thessaly Technical Office. Yannis is an electrical engineer and managing partner at Innovatia Systems. Since 2014, he has collaborated with DG JRC, and since 2015 with DG Regio on smart specialization, innovation, and digitalization. And Manuel, I don't know how to pronounce your last name. Schoeffert, maybe? Yes, thank you. So the private sector, the suit guy, ecosystem insights, how we make things work. I will share some keywords about you. He's the director at Kearney Improve, digital business models, innovation management, digitalization, product management, and agile work. He has been a senior manager and consultant forever, I think. He is also a founder, and he has very effectively worked with innovation, exploitation of new products and services, business models, and strategies. So welcome, everyone. We have prepared some questions, and after each speaker, I don't know how many of them we're going to be able to use. I will start with Maya. Maya, you have a presentation, so okay, so you can start with a presentation. Please come here at the laptop. I will move so that everyone sees the presentation.
Thank you very much, Maria, and thank you for having me today at this event. So I'm, as Maria mentioned, project advisor at EISMEA. EISMEA is European Innovation Council and SME agency, which is executive agency that implements different European Commission programs dedicated to the small and medium-sized enterprises. And I work for the implementation of the instrument that is called Interregional Innovation Investment Instrument, 3Is. And I will explain what 3Is mean. So this is rather new instrument within the family of cohesion policy. So basically it's part of the European Regional and Development Fund. So our main objective is to support cohesion, to support less developed regions, to catch up with the more developed regions in terms of investments in the innovation. The 3I, so first I is interregional. What does it mean? We are supporting so-called quadruple helix, which means that we are giving funding to the small and medium-sized enterprises, industry, businesses, clusters, also the startups, universities, research institutes, public authorities, and also final users, which are citizens that are basically representing this quadruple helix unity. And we are trying to, with our projects, create links between European Union regions around shared or complementary smart specialization priorities. We are looking for minimum 3 to 5 partners from different member states and from the different regional ecosystems. Second I is innovation, which means that we are supporting close to the market activities that are maturing innovations from technology level 6 to technology level 9, which means that we fund activities like testing, demonstration, piloting, large-scale production, validation, market replication, and so on. Basically, the activities that de-risk reduce the risk for investments for small and medium-sized enterprises, so that they can basically test their innovations and see if they are ready to the market or not. So basically, projects that we fund are basically accelerating innovation and bringing innovation closer to the market and to the scale-up. And the last I, it's investment. So we are providing financial and advisory support for joint innovation projects that are advancing from the prototype to the ready-to-the-market products, and which means that basically I3 projects, they identify a number of investment-ready sub-projects within the certain sector or within the certain technological area. And these projects then address one or several challenges that are common to the participating regions. So again, very strong link to this smart specialization strategy. This is a rather small program, only 490 million euros for 7 years, which is compared to the whole ERDF really drop in the sea. We are funding projects up to 10 million euros of EU co-funding, and for investment projects, we give up to 70% of eligible costs, and for the capacity building projects, we are giving up to 100% of eligible costs. These are like main parts, like main strengths of the I3 instrument. Strand 1 basically supports the investments of inter-regional innovation project in smart specialization areas. Basically, we are funding value chains that are more mature and that have opportunities to compete on the global market, on the global world market. And strand 2 are then basically support investments and interregional innovation projects and creation of the value chains, mostly in the less developed regions. So basically, how less developed regions can come on board with the more developed regions to participate in the creation of the value chains. And strand 1 and 2A are so-called investment strands. So these are basically projects where projects receive up to 10 million euros for funding really the investment in innovation. And strand 2B is the capacity building strand, like StarRise project, where projects are funding new tools, methodologies, and so on to support small and medium-sized companies and innovation players in their regions. And with this graph, really quickly, it's basically our path, you know, what we fund. We fund basically 5 main activities. In this orange square here, if you see, these are the capacity building activities where regions come together to learn, to connect, to share among themselves. Like, for example, in the StarRise project, in the capacity building project, for example, very important for us is this S3 community of practice, thematic smart specialization platforms, where a lot of regions and regional stakeholders can actually learn from each other. And once they prepare the investment projects, they can then benefit from the right side of the slide. They can benefit from the investment projects where they receive funding for the demonstration, commercialization, and for scaling up their innovation. So far, we have right now we have 70 projects. We have more than 1,000 participants from almost all regions and from all European countries. Sorry, it's a little bit, it's not really well seen, but anyway, we have currently 2 calls open. One is investment call is closing quite soon on 13th of November, but we have capacity building call open until March of 2026, and Info Day will be organized on 19th of November. Just maybe a few words about this I3 support facility. This is something recent. The website was just launched. It's a basically activity that supports different I3 stakeholders, let's say our I3 community, which are managing authorities, clusters, beneficiaries, coordinators, and everybody who actually would like to participate in the I3 projects. We have different services. For example, you will see here almost all the projects already presented. We have a really interesting dashboard where you could see how many projects, how much funding received, which sectors are they in. And if you click here, subscribe now, you can become a part of the I3 community and you will receive regular information. This is just a graph to see how much money we still have left. As mentioned, now we have a last capacity building call open in this funding period. So we have 9.8 million euros left for the capacity building call, but we will still have several investment projects open in 2026 and 2027. This is just a graph to see how regions are participating in the I3 program. So darker the color, better participation of the regions. And as you can see, Greece is somewhere in the middle. This is, for example, the top 20 regions participating in EU. In I3 instrument, they are coming from both from more developed regions and less developed regions. And here, for example, this is this is just like a snapshot from our I3 observatory, which shows, for example, the participation of Greece. Greece has received around 70 million euros now from the I3 instrument, and is actually doing quite well. And maybe just for I think it's one before last slide. Yeah, this is, for example, to see that we don't have like in I3 instrument partners that are always repeating, because we have 71% of the applicants are basically first-time applicants. So we have a lot of newcomers as well, which is also very good, and we would like to see. And a lot of our projects are coming from the previous cooperations as well. So it's very important that the partners or organizations cooperate already either in a different EU-funded project or thematic specialization platforms or other forms of the cooperations. So thank you. Sorry if I took too much time, but maybe I think it was a little bit important just to give the overview of what the I3 instrument is. Thank you.
Thank you, Maya. I have a question, but I think I will keep it for later so that we give the time to the rest of the speakers to proceed. So we have the European aspect, and then Mr. Governor, Mr. Kouretas, I will go to you so that you give us the regional one. Μισό λεπτάκι.
Okay. No. Okay. Okay. Okay, thank you for the invitation to be with you today. I would like to spend some time to present you the plan that we have as a region of Thessaly in research and innovation. And as you can see, our effort was based in the RIS3 Smart Specialization Strategy, which started from the first month that we started to be in the region. And I will explain you some things. Maybe you are not very familiar with this strategy. You can see that RIS3, the Smart Specialization Strategy, is a strategy which is designed to promote research and innovation in specific sectors which each region has comparative advantages. And you may know that Thessaly has some priority areas, which is agriculture, and as you can see, there are some other important keys in our development. And this strategy can help every region focusing on strengths and resources on sectors that promise added value in the development of the local economy. And as you can see from the left to the right, we must identify what is already has been done. In many sectors, we have some comparative advantage, and this is namely agri-food sector, the tourism, and biotechnology, as can be seen from various papers that we have done. And the thing is that we must invest in innovation in these particular areas. The second thing is that we must find funding and resources. And from one side, from one hand, is the resources that we can spend as a region in that. And you have to approve the strategy because without it, you cannot have some instruments, financial instruments to spend, and this is a prerequisite. And the third step is the collaboration and the knowledge transfer between business and universities and also research centers. And as you can see in the next slide, we have done many things so far. And also, we have to quality jobs and growth, investing in this and in strengthening the sustainability and the competitiveness of small and medium-sized enterprises. You can see that we have some sectors, and so far we have run these calls, which is the first call. It's in social and solidarity economy, which is 2 million euros. The second is to promote business partnership with research organization, which is 8 million euros, which is now in the step of, in a very critical step. We already applied the research organization and the business to this program. And the third is research infrastructure, which applies to university research groups and also to other research groups in Thessaly, which is 8.6 million euros. And the last instrument is a double, to say, instrument for new SMEs and existing SMEs is 20 million euros each. And as you can see, is very important for their development. The first instrument belongs to the program that we have as a region. It's 2021 to 27, and the budget is 2 million, as I explained you before, and the submission was from January 25 to April 25, and covers 100% the eligible costs for 24 months to go to strengthen the social value of various social enterprises. The second is to promote and connect some already existed companies and to go and promote their competitiveness outward to for extroversion, which is the participation in some events outside, And it is very important because it covers especially the agri-food sector, which is important for us. The other instrument that I showed before is that the has to do with the interconnection between research bodies and with public bodies also, and covers 100% the expenses for research that applies to smart specialization strategy. And as I told you before, is for agri-food sector, for tourism, for also for drugs, it's for health, and it covers, as I remember, 43 programs, which already running. They are in the fourth month. In the 4 month, sorry. So this is the last instrument, as I told you. It's a double instrument for established, very recently established SMEs and for existing SMEs, and is 20 million euros each. And in areas that cover also the smart specialization strategy, and is for 3 years. And this program opened 3 days ago, and the applications can be go to the system from November 23rd to end of January. And we believe that many companies can apply, and we are very optimistic about their participation in this program. The results that we expect from this program is 12% increase in productivity in an average, and 15% in export orientation. And we think that this can apply to our economy, which pass very difficult times after Daniel, and I think that this can help a lot the competitive companies of our region. I think that I gave you some overview, and I thank you for your attention.
So having heard all of that from the governor, I would go to Yannis, that you put everything that the governor, Mr. Kureta, said into practice. So which of these are the most suitable ones for innovators? Because it appears that Thessaly is a region where an innovator should come and should go for what we can fund.
I will be more technical. So our job here is to support innovators to reach TRLs 5 or 6 maximum. Although we have mostly all of the instruments mentioned by the government or in principle support higher TRL levels, they usually are not very popular with our beneficiaries because of the limited funding intensity. Therefore, what we are doing at the region with these policy instruments is to groom new firms or standalone innovators to set up business, take their first step into developing their products, reach TRL 5 or 6 through collaborative research projects, and then we leave them to grow in the hands of the national programs or European programs. This is not that we have decided this. It is part of the demarcation of the work between regional and national authorities in Greece. So grooming, or to talk in a football-like manner, the local leagues, we prepare people to join the local leagues, then identify some stars and push the stars to the national or the European championships, Champions League, and so on. On top of that, the newly established mechanism to support entrepreneurship in the region, which I'm part, and under this hat I'm talking today, also tries to make networks, to introduce people to other people, either from the region or from abroad, to introduce them to new ideas that can be used or funding instruments that can be used. And there is always the risk that the local ecosystems are very dense, but they are very weakly connected to international ecosystems. And these are the main issues trying to be solved by instruments like the I3 mentioned by Maya. Therefore, we provide customized, personalized services to innovators to help them navigate across different funding instruments, regional, national, international, European, and so on, and network them by building synergies with other projects operating in the region, but not under the RDF funding, to make the most of that. This is it. Thank you.
Thank you. It sounds like as a region we're doing pretty well. However, I will go to Manuel. You're not from the region of Thessaly, you're from a region in Germany. But since we collaborate quite closely for StarEyes, which is an I3 project, the first I3 project, and a very successful one that gathers during these days here, I would like to ask you, Manuel, about the main gaps. The main gaps that in how how these funding mechanisms are used.
Not yet? Okay, thank you. So gaps in how funding mechanisms can be used. That's a tough one, because that obviously depends so much on the regions, that depends so much on the objectives behind, that depends also on the type of funding mechanism, and where then there could be potential gaps on how they're used. I think when we want to divide that into parts, and we say, okay, we can have a gap in how this is used to help a company grow, or it can be used how to support a whole region. And if that's okay, if that goes in line with the question, I would divide it into those two parts. So the gaps or challenges in how the mechanisms are used to help a company grow, they are probably hundreds or thousands out there. And I think what is important, and we heard that earlier today also in the 1 o'clock session from the representative from the parliament, to maybe centralize and allow the companies to have an easier overview. And as you just said, you provide an overview, an individualized overview. So that might close already a gap for the company, because then the company with a better overview might have easier access, or at least the knowledge, how to use funding to close own internal gaps. So we would like shorten or decrease the gaps that we have in utilization of the available fundings, because there is money available, there are budgets available on a local, national level, on a European level. And if we do that in a structured and informed way, we might even solve the second level that I introduced, where we want to help whole regions to close gaps. via these funds, via these budgets. And then we talk about I3 projects. We talk about cross-national, maybe European level funding to support whole regions, to support Thessaly, but also other regions in Europe to grow further, to take the opportunities that are out there due to tech, due to AI. We've seen many startups out there, tech-based. So we can close the company-related gaps, I hope, by centralization, by offering services such as the individualized support, and we can close the gaps in the regional aspects if we talk about it more, if we use it more, and if we maybe facilitate the access to the funding possibilities.
Thank you very much. And collaborative, this is the word that I have in mind. So collaboration and the quadruple helix. Yeah, so talking about collaboration, I see that we have the mayor as well, so I will come back to the region of Thessaly and to the city of Larissa. So I would very much like to hear from you as well, if you would like to share something maybe with us, with the audience, something that has to do either with innovation, with collaboration, or...
Dear guests, we are more excited to host the Southeast European Innovators Challenge in our city of Larissa, a forward-looking event that brings together people, ideas, concepts, and innovative practices that can shape our common future. This great partnership of our cities and countries proves the strength of our bonds in friendship, cooperation, and joint venturing in strategic fields such as cybersecurity, information and communication technologies, and agri-food logistics. Larissa is a city that moves purposefully to the forefront with a sure-footed pace towards becoming a world hotspot for visitors, entrepreneurs, scientists, creating opportunities, especially for the young people. As the National Youth Capital for 2025, Larissa has been hosting numerous events and conferences for the youth, organized by our vigorous and really active Municipal Youth Council together. And so we all are really excited to participate as co-organizers in this year's Innovators Challenge. Young people are the driving force for the development and prosperity of our city and our society. It is our responsibility as a local authority to give our young men and women the opportunity to show their talents and strengths as the future leaders of our land. Dear friends, we share a plethora of common traits, both historical and cultural. Therefore, the potential of developing commercial, economic, and cultural relations and ties is extremely interesting. It is upon to us to turn this potential into actual joint ventures, to define the content of the narratives and direct calls to action, to create opportunities for common projects and investments in the Balkans and make the region the next Silicon Valley. Thank you for your attention. I hope to have a very good and pleasant stay here in the city of Larissa. And the cooperation is one of the most important things to make basis front. So cooperation is something that it is really necessary to see the next day with more optimistic side and have something that could really can make our society and local society and especially young people to be more active in our decisions for the next days. Thank you very much.
I cannot wait for us to become the next Silicon Valley. Next year. Yeah. Yes, it is. It is. He is. To close, I would like to go back to Maya, to go back to the EU, to go back to the bigger region of which we're all part of. I would like to ask you how the I3 instrument, which is practically a funding mechanism thanks to which not the majority, but many of us are here today, aim to turn regional strengths into cross-border business opportunities, because this leads to sustainability, this leads to pilots being active in one country, in one region, also seeing them becoming tangible in another. So I would like to hear your opinion on this.
Yes, thank you. Maybe I would like to build on what Mr. Chiodras said in a previous panel, the MEP. He said that Europe is a big market, 450 million people, but very fragmented. Actually, we don't have single market, we have 27 markets. And it's very similar also with EU funding. We have EU funding, which is centralized, but sometimes it's very fragmented. I3 instrument is coming from the family of cohesion funding. So it's European Regional Development Fund. ERDF, the mainstream ERDF funding basically is given to the regions. Less developed regions receive more funding, more developed regions receive less funding. And this funding is basically spent on the territory of this region. So it doesn't go really beyond the border of the region. And then on one hand, we have programs like Horizon Europe, which funds lower technology readiness level, funds research, basic research. And on the other hand, we have European Regional Development Fund that is geographically basically limited on the region. And then I3 instrument kind of answered this need of interregional cooperation for the projects that are closer to the market. So projects that are not so interested for Horizon Europe, and projects that are not possible to be funded in the mainstream ERDF funding. So it's still a cohesion policy, but it's centrally managed. It's very much linked to the smart specialization strategies of the region. So this is basically the driving force of behind the I3 instrument, is that all the participating regions have to have something in common, have to have some sectors in common, they have to have basically complementary or similar smart specialization strategies. And I3 projects, as mentioned before, is basically really funding the projects that are bringing innovation, either bringing products, services, other innovation closer to the market, and de-risk the investments for the small and medium-sized companies, so they can test their innovation and scale them up, not only in their region or their country, but in the whole European Union.
Great, and it's important to say that also the test before invest, which is
Exactly.
the same, and it's shared with European Digital Innovation Hubs.
Yes.
The Enterprise Europe Network is also part of the I3, quite important one. And actually the quadruple helix that we all can find in these projects, which actually makes them work. Thank you. I would like to ask the audience if there are any questions towards any of our speakers, if you would like any clarifications, information. Yes.
Financing rules of ERDF or those of Horizon Europe in I3?
Fortunately, ERDF. Our pre-financing rules is that we changed them. Actually, it was worse. We give project 70% of the funding pre-financed, so 70% off 70% in case of strand 1 and 2A, and then halfway from the project we give them additional 20%, so up to 90% of all the costs, and when the project is finished we give them the rest of the 10%. So it's still not so bad. Yeah, we still get some projects still get some pre-financing. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, there is a question.
Thank you. May I one question possibly for the regional governor, Mr. Kouretas, or the technical director of RIS, because it's very much related to RIS. Do you think it's clever enough to see, for example, any analytical stage of the RIS strategy where we are strong now? I'm talking about any region, or where we should be in 5, 10 years based on knowledge activities. And I'm focusing to universities, to research centers, because several studies suggest that many regions have been tracked due to the path dependency effect, and that they have several opportunities based on the knowledge that they have now to follow different economic trajectories.
Side. First of all, I would like to thank you for the question. The region of Thessaly is the only region in the country that runs for the first time these programs, because in the past we couldn't, the previous administration. So even though the University of Thessaly and the companies that participate in these programs, they have experience. I don't know if you ask me as a governor, and also I can answer you as a research professor, and also with a triple hat, I am an entrepreneur. I don't know, because I try to understand the capacity that can lead to next steps, because it is a habit in our ecosystem in Greece to get the funds from one program and that's it. Because, for example, if we say that we want to give money to some students, not students, to students that finish the school and they have already a master's degree, or they have even a PhD, and we try to give them some support for the next years, and they do the PhD or they do the postdoctoral with this money. Okay, what is the next step? We want to keep an ecosystem efficient from money that we give for programs, or we want to do the next step, which is a company, an SME, a spin-off company. And according to my experience, and according to 30 years in the business, in the field, and almost 10 years as an entrepreneur, I am not very optimistic. But I will take the risk as a governor, because even one or two spin-off companies or one or two good examples that we have from all of these millions that we spend, I think it's worthy of money and of time.
You need something more?
Just
the visioning thing is very tough and depends on the aspirations and the capacities of the individual persons that make the decisions. So how far-fetched your next smart specialization strategy would be is heavily dependent on the people who agree on the priorities, how effective we have been in putting them, in exposing them to new ideas and concepts, or the EU research strategy for alignment, but that's it. We cannot do any more. The concept of consultations and the entrepreneurial discovery process of the RIS3 strategy cycle is heavily dependent on the people that discuss and make the decisions. And that's it.
I would like to make given information. As I noticed before, many people believe that the European market is separated in many small pieces. Maybe every country is a piece of market. Now, and at least many years now, this is the European market is more united than ever before, because when we design a product designed by EN regulations, so 98%, 99% of a product is exactly the same. So the variation that maybe is necessary country to country is only a few changes, few improvements. The only issue is that Greek companies, for example, they start to design for Greek market at first. The problem is the manufacturers, because they start from local market at first and they go farther, instead to start from European market and succeed also in their local market. So this is another approach that we must think about European Union. European Union is one and the product is one. In the one from all the countries with few changes that is just fit to its market.
Just pushing myself on this topic. Is it okay with the Thanks. I like the perception and the belief that we have this one market, and I give you this point on a certain aspect. It's possible to act in one market, and it's possible with very few changes to act in one market. I would still follow what we heard from Maya, that it is separate in a way that there are so many actors acting in a rather individual way and in separate split markets, but we could go in the direction as you outline, right? So it's very easy with globalization, with digitalization, with outreach possibilities, with at least e-commerce or any other means, logistic means, and so on. It is possible to act in a European market and in a global market with very, very few adaptations to whatever you're offering, whether it's a service or a product. But I would agree with Maya that there are many individuals, companies that are still acting more on a local area where, and we work with many intermediaries. We heard digital innovation hubs, Enterprise Europe Network, clusters, other InnoParks, tech parks, and local development agencies. They are supporting, in a lot of cases, they are supporting internationalization and scaling of companies, right? Because then we lead to a more united market and more like one market. And I think it is possible. And funding might help, to come back to the first question, of course, but it's not all. Even the strategies, the risk strategies can help to support that. But I would also say that there's still a way to go. It's good to know that, and it's good to work towards that direction, but there is a way to go.
And so that we don't have to reinvent the wheel, the next session, which starts in 10 minutes, is going to be a presentation from each tech park, each science park and innovation park that is present here today, of at least one service that they offer, so that we don't have to offer it ourselves, which is why we also formed this alliance, this coalition, which is why we participate in proposals together. So what we do and what we have as a deliverable, how we can commercialize it, and how we do not have to start from scratch all over again. Thank you very much for today. Thank you, and see you in a bit.
Welcome again. It was really nice meeting you all in person, and thank you for joining us at SEEIC 2025. So this presentation is about the supporting programs that tech parks are facilitating to startups and SMEs. So across Europe and beyond, tech parks have become powerful engines of innovation and economic development. So our alliance shares a common mission to strengthen local innovation ecosystems, to foster digital transformation and expand access to funding. I will give the floor to Antalya Technopark to have the first presentation.
Okay, thank you very much. Is it okay? Okay, thank you for invitation, and we are so happy to be here and a part of the Alliance. So, Antalya is Antalya, organized industry zone in Antalya, and Antalya is the capital of the tourism and agriculture, and now our target to be a hub of the technology. Antalya also tourism and agriculture. We are the 5th largest city in Turkey, and San Nicolas live here before. And we have more than almost 200 blue flag beaches, black marines, and also agriculture. We are the capital of Turkey. Yearly production 6.5 million tons, and 50% of the Turkey's greenhouse production is supplied from Antalya. If Antalya were a country, we can say that 2.3 million tons of tomato production, it would be the world's 13th biggest tomato producer. And you also see some views from Antalya. And we are located in Antalya Organized Industry Zone. The Organized Industry Zone is the 5th biggest zone in Turkey, and more than 300 factories and almost 20,000 employees working. And the main sectors: wood, construction, food, paper, textile, agriculture, plastic, and machine. And it awarded the most environmental friendly organized industry zone in Turkey last years. Our Technopark, the stakeholder is organized industry zone, 2 universities. One is the governmental university, the other is the private, and also Chamber of Commerce are stakeholders. The big part belongs to organized industrial zone managing. And our ecosystem, I mean, we can say that the universities, technoparks we have, and more than 100,000 students, more than 1,500 academicians, and also inside our organized industry zone are these centers accredited by the Ministry of Industry. So it's a huge ecosystem. When we are each other, we are a collection, collaboration together. And we have more than 90 companies. We have just established 2023. We are just 2 years old. Our company mainly, I mean, we can say the software companies, but we have also agricultural companies. But the software companies also feed the tourism sector. We have also food, of course, I mean, together with the agriculture, and also electronic device machines. We have programs. We are just start to, organize program. We are focused on, firstly, mentorship program, preparing our entrepreneurs. In the nationwide, we have some events. They selected these events: Big Bang Startup Challenge, some workup programs, some biggest, Technopark also arranged some big international events, Get Enduring, like that. On the other hand, we are also the focus on the global area, and also the intellectual and financial support for joining innovation entrepreneur themes fairs, for example, Qatar and Lisbon Web Summit. And also Antalya is the capital of tourism. We also arrange a big demo day, and international entrepreneur also participate last month. And now we are focused on the agricultural demo day next coming, in November. And also what we are doing, we are matching the industry because organized industry zone industries. So we are matching our entrepreneurs, startup industry companies together. And our new focus next coming years, we also want to organize a pre-incubation program and about the industrial digitalization. So I think it's a very short, and we are, thank you very much.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you very much. So from one tech park from Turkey, let's move to the other one. So I'm calling Kostim to have their presentation.
Okay. So hello everyone. I am Elif Üzen. I work as business development and project coordinator at Boston Technopark. Firstly, thank you for this organization. We appreciate all your efforts for this event. And so I am going to give you a brief information about what Austin Technopark does. So I will start with so Austin Technopark is located in a organized industrial zone which has over 50 years of experience, and it is one of the oldest and biggest organized industrial zones. So there are over across many key sectors with thousands of companies working in machinery, energy, medical technologies, defense, to automation technologies. So it works as a hub actually. Other than this SMEs and startups, it also has traders and almost every governmental institutions in education, finance, and medical. So Austin Technopark was established in 2015 under the National Technology Development Zone, and we started to operate at the end of 2018, and we expanded through the years, and now we have approximately 200 companies. And we have 9 shareholders. 7 of them are universities. The biggest shareholder is Austin Foundation. So, as Austin Technopark, we have 4 locations. 2 main buildings are Turkuaz and Turuncu buildings. In Turkuaz building, it provides a space for Inno14 Acceleration Center, which is approximately 100 square meters. And in Turuncu building, it provides space for an incubation center for about 800 square meters, and also Kurota Technology Manufacturing Center, which is also 100 square meters. And we also have another incubation center at our 4th location. So to sum up, we have there are 30,000 square meter closed area, 20,000 rental area. So this is our main duties and responsibilities as Austin Technopark, which is divided into three categories. First is tenant services. With tenant services, actually, we provide heating, cooling, cleaning, security, and all sorts of maintenance, and also technical supports whenever needed. And the second, under the law, we have certain responsibilities to provide for companies. Every company needs to have at least one R&D project to enter the region. So we audit and monitor the whole application process, and we also make sure that the companies who benefit from the tax exemptions are doing everything right. And last, our value-added services. So we designed a whole chain of services to provide support to companies at all stages. Firstly, at seed stage, we don't provide support because we have 7 university shareholders, and most of them provide the right services to pre-seed and seed stage companies. But once they establish their company and become a legal entity, then we start to provide support. So we start with Austin IMP. Austin IMP actually is an angel investment network. And there are almost 30 angel investors and 40 startups at early stages. So it is an accredited network by the Ministry of Treasury and Finance. With this accreditation, the investors can get a tax exemption on their income that they invest in the startups. So in this network, we bring together the investors and the entrepreneurs. We provide tech, business models, and they teach, and we provide awareness training for both sides actually. And in short, it's basically a mentorship program. The aim is to scale the companies so they can be from being a startup to being a professional company, and the mentorships can depends on what they need. It can be about export, it can be about marketing, business development, or R&D. So it is both technical and commercialization mentorship. And for Prota, so Prota is a prototyping center actually. It has a makerspace which was funded by national institutions, and it also has an advanced machinery park which was funded by EU for 5 million euros. So in Prota, we have trainings to newly graduate engineers, to students, so they can enhance their competencies. And next is Acceleration Center. At Inno14 Acceleration Center, we usually host 20 to 25 startups, so we can follow them one-on-one and understand their current situation, so we can provide tailored trainings, mentorship, B2B matchmaking services. And it is an actually open innovation center. So within the law, we accept our companies with a certain procedures. But in Inno14, we have a separate application process. So at this process, we actually try to evaluate their social skills, their networking skills, if they are negotiable, if they are open to new information, is their mind flexible to say, yes, I don't know this for sure. Maybe I can get help, or this information that I was certain that I knew, but maybe I should question myself. So after Innofortin Acceleration Center, actually we have another acceleration program. So in Innofortin Acceleration Center, we don't have a strict acceleration program because we follow our startups according to their needs, and it goes during the whole year. Okay, so we can do focused acceleration programs. It can focus on their business development skills or their human resources structure. But we said, like, okay, maybe we can do a whole package for acceleration program. So we started TechWorks acceleration program. So Innofortin is actually home to TechWorks acceleration program. So at this program, it lasts like for 2 to 3 months, and we select 6 to 8 startups. And we begin with preparing their need analysis report at the beginning of the program, and then we provide mentorship, B2B meetings, investor meetings, and etc. according to the reports. So it is also a tailored program. So we prepared a mentors pool, and also a big technology companies and investors all around the country. So when a company needs a certain company, then we can say that, okay, we know the company, and it is in our network, and we can bring you together. Okay. So I guess that's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ali. It's really interesting that you divide the companies according to their stage, the growth stage that they are, so they can provide tailored services for this. So moving on, let's welcome Sofia Tech, and let's explore their services as well.
Thank you, Irene. At the beginning, thank you to our wonderful host for this atmosphere you have created for us, for networking, for sharing our experiences. And what about Sofia Tech Park? Sofia Tech Park is actually the one and only and the first in our country working techno park. It is a state-owned in terms of the way we function, but to be honest, we are completely relying on our own efforts to develop the overall infrastructure you will see in the next slides. So this year is very important for us because this is our 10th university we are having, university anniversary, I mean, we are having in a few months, and actually this is the first anniversary of the Alliance, so let's wish us to meet here again probably in 10 years to celebrate also the 10th anniversary of the Alliance. What I want to share with you in very general lines is, on the first place, our focus areas, which you see on the first place are ICT and mechatronics, life sciences, and clean energy. Basically, our support is directed to both startups and small and medium-sized companies as well within those areas, but in the broadest sense. If we speak about the startups as a main part of our activities and services, We have tried through the years to develop several basic components of the infrastructure they might need. Of course, the first very important part, this is our incubation program. You will see in a bit. It is called the Southeast European Innovators program, and it is one that is open and welcoming both founders, being individuals, teams, and entities, no matter the stage they are in. It's the point they're applying to us. The next very important component we are very proud of, we call it Sofia Tech Labs. You will see in a bit again, but this is our laboratory complex consisting of 11 high-tech laboratories which provide by request and also within the incubation program tailor-made services to the startups and SMEs. Starting from prototyping, laboratory tests, including test before invest activities. Something unique for us and probably for the region is the petascale computer, which is functioning on the territory of our complex, and the latest project which we started working vocational next to consultancy, next to mentoring services, next to B2B services we are providing. And this is the more or less the lackmus for us. As Elif said, they're monitoring also the mindset of the startup to continue fighting. So with us, the digital incubation is the period that we give to the startups. Within those 6 months, we expect from them to register their entity and to move forward to undertake the next steps. Within the program, our startups also have additional support. It's it's purely financial support on the side of the Sofia Tech Park because we are providing them vouchers to use laboratory services. Actually, this is another application process within the program, but we connect them and motivate them to connect if they're not secure with the laboratory complex in order to discuss, to assess, to prototype, to do the initial tests and to actually at the end reach their MVP. Something which we have worked on in the last few years are two very important partnerships for us, which are open freely to the startups in our incubation program. These are the partnerships with Google for Startups. Actually, Sofia Tech Park is the official partner for the region of Google Startups, which provides the companies different tiers, different levels of Google credits they might use for cloud services, for consultancy with dedicated engineers to support them. And the second very important partnership from this year is, I don't know if it's familiar to you, but it's a platform called Iconpreneur, which is a platform supporting the early stage startups to conceptualize their business model, to do the, for example, the different research, planning, etc. activities. So those are very exclusive partnerships for us, and something very specific and very important, and that is why I mentioned that we opened already the program to external companies outside Bulgaria, is that it is usually dedicated to companies, if we speak about entities which are registered in Bulgaria. So if a startup in your ecosystem needs to access the Bulgarian market or needs to access kind of those services we provide on preferential manner within the program, please contact us and we will share more about how and why. But on the first place, they need to register a company in Bulgaria. It doesn't matter what is the TRL level of their product or service, because as well as the colleagues, we have differentiation of the levels of support we provide to the different stages. It doesn't matter if you're individual, team, or an entity, but if you are an entity, it should be 3 years from your registration. And in order to shorten a bit, those are the laboratories. You see that we have a virtual VR and AR lab, we have a cybersecurity lab, we have the biopharma complex, we have HPC computing, which is very relevant also to the job that the petal scale supercomputer is doing in terms of high performance calculations, scientific calculations, and very big data sets. So these are the contact details. Thank you very much.
And thank you, Alexandra. Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question about a slide? So you're mentioning here on the Innovators program that you're having a vibrant community. Do you gather them on events? Do you have like a landing page where they can chat? What is the idea behind this?
Thank you very much. Of course, we have, so to say, each month a very typical event that we have for our ecosystem. It was actually yesterday in the morning. We gather all our mentors, startups, NGOs, also businesses providing services to our staffs on regular meetings, on demo days, on mentor startup matching activities. We have Discord channel and network. We have social media. So yes, we do organize.
Thank you. Thank you. So moving on, let's welcome Esti Pinis, the representative. Let me have the presentation as well.
Thank you very much. It's a great pleasure to be the part of this conference and to speak after our older brothers, how to say, because all of the parks have their journey, some more than 20 years. We could consider us as the brand new, but one of the growing up initiatives in this region that hopefully be much more comparable to the European side. But what is much important is that our story was started a little bit earlier, because we have, how to say, engineering blood in our vein, because we were considered as the city of electronic, started from 1948. Almost there was no family without employee in electronical industry or mechanical industry. More than 40,000 persons have worked in that industry. During some period that came in transition during the 90s and the 80s, there was the collapse of the economy, both in the niche and the whole Serbia, and somehow we lose in that moment the identity of the region. But what was happened after that is that we try to organize our economy according to the companies majorly that were shifted from those two giants, mechanical industry and electronic industry. What was happening is our path with some good initiatives, some less initiatives, less good initiatives, but the first big was in 1917 with a small scale model in developing of startup center, and then in 2020 with establishment of science technology park in Niš. So we could consider that we have only 5 years, but what is very important that in a second year we have fulfilled our capacity, currently working what is much important on orchestrating the innovation ecosystem. So because there was no such business development organization that could join both SMEs, business development organization, local self-government, and every on one side to work together on the building the innovation ecosystem and working on a synergy. So we have in this moment 40,000 square meter available and 70 companies, more than 600 employees. These are the sum of the infrastructure which is currently in our building, from the modern workspace, gym, museum, and so on. And companies currently working in our ecosystem are both technology development, R&D, and scale-up company that we are proud of, but also something that we help to grow our 24 startup companies. And because there is no, unfortunately, in this moment space for others, we provided them the virtual membership for those both startups and both R&D center that could benefit to our community, the virtual membership. Something very similar to Austin Tech Park is the services that we are providing to our customers, starting from the pre-incubation phase that we are working with them on preparing the idea, how working majorly with the faculty to boost this innovation entrepreneurship within the faculties and high schools. What we are proud is our launcher and startup program for the prototyping, working on a running lean methodology that we are trying to work on a 6 months base first to in the iterative process to learn with them and validate their ideas, and then provide them the mentorship opportunity for our with business mentors and industrial mentors to help them to prepare the MVP technology readiness level 5. And these are some of the issues that we are working together for with the Science Technology Park Belgrade programs that we've developed with them for the late stage, working on a later phase of the MVP together with and for the Scale Up and Development Center, according to the evaluation that we working with them and according to their need, we are providing them our niche innovation school, which is tailor-made. For example, we have currently some legal lab working on a legal issue with them according to their needs. Basically, these are the basic services oriented for the majorly for the startup company. But what we also worked in a previous 2.5 years is the regional scaling of our initiatives, because if we want that niche become and to be much more respective as the innovation center, not just in the regional part, region of southern Serbia, we want to scale up our initiatives and to have the satellites in some smaller municipalities, because the concentration of power, innovation, and R&D is currently in Belgrade and in Vojvodina. And our one of the mission is to shift these initiatives and bring it much more on the regional level and on the level of smaller municipality. That is why we have provided opportunities within 9 regional innovation startup center in smaller municipalities, 5 innovation incubators on faculty, and this 1 startup center in niche. So basically, they are a service provider within the ecosystem of our services of the science technology park. So if you see, we are not only covering in this moment area of the city of Niš, which is more or less 250 inhabitants, but we are provided to the 2 million inhabitants in the region, which is 1/4 of the Serbia. One of the services is the brand new that we have from this year's. It's Serbian European Digital Innovation Hub on the artificial intelligence. Science Technology Park is the coordinator of this program. I could not say project because if something is going 4 years plus possibly 4 and 4, we are calling it definitely the program. And the capacity is on the national base, having the Institute of the Artificial Intelligence of Republic of Serbia, Innovation Center, the Faculty of Electronical Engineering, Center for Digital Transformation, ICT Hub, Science Technology Park Čačak, and Cluster NICET. These are our associated partners. We are not technology agnostic, but the focus is on the artificial intelligence and Industry 5.0. But what we are proud is because we have both Science Technology Park Niš and Čačak and ICT Hub also bringing the business development and because we have also Center of Digital Transformation of Chamber of Commerce, we are proud to say that this program is scaling of the already existing 9 years program that Center of Digital Transformation worked within in Serbia, but boosted with the capacity of us working on the business development, boosting with the capacity of those working on the technology transfer and test beds and securing investment. So these are some of the technologies in our capacity, since there is currently, for example, in the Innovation Center of Electronical Faculty of Belgrade, 17 laboratories, but that's not the end, since you will see in some other slides the expansion of the Science Technology Park and the PET we are going in the next decade. As usual, services providing within the usual European Digital Innovation Hub from the innovation ecosystem and networking, development skills and training. Currently, 27 trainings that we have in our portfolio, mainly oriented just on the AI. Test before invest with some combination of open innovation challenges, GovTech, direct test beds within labs, and securing investment services, which we are providing to companies to support in assessment, financial opportunities, grant consulting, and so on. So basically, as I mentioned, it's not the finishing of our services, because our building, the expansion of the Science Technology Park is currently in the finishing phase. We are going to finish at the mid-2026 and providing 3 more institutes, 3 laboratories as a test bed opportunity and the tech transfer opportunity. So to include the portfolio of tech transfer and technology brokerage within our services to our customers. These are the 2 new programs, and to have more than 70 companies and bring in more than 50 startups. So this is how the building will look like, and it's almost until the finished phase. These are the inside, but what we are proud is that we are already one form of the innovation district. This is in our capacity good competitiveness, since currently we have within our district already electronical faculty, mechanical, architectural one, and a technical academy, plus as we are in the Science Technology Park. So basically in this area, you could find more than 700 students, mainly oriented on tech, graduated 1,000 on the yearly base, number of researchers 400, and the number of PhD, which is 300. So combine all this, we wanted to cluster it and to scale it up. So bringing some additional university on the area and bringing the for this moment new institute in our capacity. So if you see in the pictures, we want to double both students, both number of graduates, and both researchers and diploma. And to put it on the map, this is the area which exists, and this is the area that we are going to explore starting in the next year to more orientated on developing model and providing, securing the financing. But our vision is to have it in 5 years scale of this period and combine those 5 priority industries which we identified during the previous 2 years in the feasibility studies: ICT, green tech, smart manufacturing, and health tech, because we have both resources and both companies and activities which is going on in our region. So this is our pictures of the vision of the tech park, the tech niche in the next phase. So hoping that in the next few years, working with the alliance, you will be the witnesses of growing economy and helping us also to boost this ecosystem. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ivan. So yeah.
I mean, it's very impressive to see your growth in just, let's say, the last 5 years, and where you're heading is a great example, not only for the region, but I think in international scale. One very quick, very short question on your side. Can you elaborate a little bit on your effort with working with the virtual incubation or virtual companies, as you mentioned? What is the difference between working with them, and what is the performance of let's say or their development? How would you evaluate that? Is it better to be with you in the offices of the tech park niche, or working virtually with them is also giving them a good development?
Thank you. What is important, as I mentioned, we have fulfilled the capacity, and there is in this moment more or less no opportunity for them. So within the infrastructure capacity. So basically what they were needed is to be the part of the community, because in the area we are not providing, as you can see, just the infrastructure services, but also the other services that help them to grow. But also, I didn't mention a lot of activities within the innovation ecosystem that provide them both networking opportunity and both matchmaking opportunity. And they see the benefit of the virtual member to be as a part of the community and to get to be much close with the PhD, with the university, with the academy, with and SMEs that they could maybe provide some services. So basically, they are paying for the to be the members, but it's not the same price as the price for those one using the infrastructure services. So basically, there is two-way, how to say, one that they see opportunity for networking and matchmaking, and the other one that we are seeing as they are bringing, some of them are bringing the flagship within our ecosystem. Those are some big companies that are virtual members, but if you present them to your local community as potential partner, we see is opportunity also for our members.
Nowadays, because of the growing cost of doing business, hiring offices and everything, you know what I'm talking about, startups and especially young teams are more reluctant of getting offices and getting into the physical community. So it means that we as orchestrators, as you said, we need to be more flexible and provide even more better quality services for those that are actually not physical in our, let's say, campuses. And
so we can see that most of the people actually think that tech parks only support startups and SMEs, but we can see that, and we need to communicate that we empower also students, we empower researchers and PhD community. Thank you.
Also helping the public services as one of our how to say stakeholders group, because as you can see, we work on the quadruple helix, and they are not just as how to say policy making, but also they need to follow the digital agenda and the innovation, and we try to connect our companies to bring the new innovation, new services within the public company. And
after all, it's all about networking. Thank you very much for your presentation. So let's move on with Dr. Aise from Bursa Technopark.
Thank you. Should I take this? Hello, everyone. I'm Professor Dr. Ayşe Bedeloğlu from Bursa Technical University. I am General Manager of Technopark and Technology Transfer Office since 2023, but also I'm a full professor at Bursa Technical University in Polymer Materials Engineering Department. Both of them are continuum. Our Technopark is located in Bursa. Bursa is a very famous and important city in terms of history and also in terms of industry. It is the fourth biggest city of Turkey in terms of industrial activities. There are many companies and there are many sectors, especially automotive and textile sectors are major sectors in Bursa. And also this coding systems and digitalization is also important in Bursa industry. It is board and also the my team on the left. We have now 33 companies. 8 of them are incubators and others are R&D companies. These are over 100 personnel in the Technopark. As you see, it is very small Technopark compared to other Technoparks, but we are planning to make it bigger. We have a huge sectoral distribution in our Technopark, but the majority is software. In Bursa, majority is software. So our companies are dealing with this coding, e-trade, or other applications of these softwares. Also, we have pre-incubation area. We are in the Bursa Technical University campus for now. So we are very good relations with university academicians and also our other departments. And this pre-incubation area is also in the university. It is about for 50 people. And it is especially for students and academicians which are in very early stage of the entrepreneurship. And our aim is to develop entrepreneurship and entrepreneur activities in Bursa, in Turkey, and in global, because we believe that this is important for the development of countries, for cities, and also for people. So we are dealing with, especially since I am a professor at the university, I'm very interested in education, seminars, and network activities. We are, for example, last year our project was supported, and in the meeting I have told a little bit about it. And now next year it will finish our Erasmus project dealing with the development of capacities of entrepreneurs. And at this stage, I want to share some information about it. We have prepared some modules. We have completed some of these modules. The modules are related to entrepreneurs' iterate capabilities, how we can increase their capabilities. So we have prepared some education modules, education platforms, and also at these months we are doing mentor-mentee matchings. Online matchings were prepared, and for example, our incubator companies meeting with international mentors from other partners, for example, from Denmark, from Croatia, or from Romania. And also their incubators are coming together with our mentors from Turkey, which are very active and successful in their area. So these are information from these projects. Also, we have shared some international success stories, some webinars. These are all informative online. Most of them were online. And also we have established some platforms that I mentioned. And also, we are trying to take some supports from national funding agencies. Our companies are taking from national or international funding agencies, for example, TÜBİTAK supports, or Eureka Network supports, or Horizon supports. But also, we are, as a technology park, applying to supports. These support was taken from our government, and we have taking some education with our companies to establish quality management systems in their companies. And other events, training, meetings. We believe that network is very important for our companies and also for all of us. I am very happy to be here with you, with my alliance partners. So I hope these networks will bring benefit for all of us. Thank you very much for your patience. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Torres. So last but not least, the host of today's meetup. Let's call my colleague Ira. She will have a look about TechBox and Marketplace.
Okay. Hello. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy for today's gathering. And although it has been a long day, it's a powerful thing to hear about each other's services and what we can do to create a better, let's say, performance of the Alliance in the near future. So I will start by reminding the vision that we have, the mission that we have here at Joist. We aim to serve as catalysts for innovation, entrepreneurship, and regional development. And I believe we are in a good direction to this. So what we mainly do is that we bring together companies, startups, SMEs with researchers and investors. That's the actual and powerful thing that we mostly do. What we aim to do is to empower everyone, perform their best, either it is in entrepreneurship or in any other aspect. So that's why we have a full spectrum of services provided to startups and SMEs. So I will briefly mention that we have incubation and acceleration programs in plug-and-play mode. We collaborate with several networks and well-performing organizations all around Europe in order to activate these programs for our communities. We also provide support to digital transformation. We provide access to funding, consultancy, and mentoring. All these, and most importantly, what we do with businesses is that we connect them globally with key stakeholders, markets, investors, and that is the most, I believe, powerful thing we manage to do. So as you can understand, the vision of Joist expands beyond the local impact. So we have a franchise model. What we are trying to do is to expand globally, in Europe firstly, but also globally. We are in search of physical spaces like this, but smaller or bigger ones, where we will be able to replicate this model. And apart from this, we believe that innovation, apart from physical engines, needs also digital engines. So at the heart of this expansion is Joist Marketplace. So this is a new platform that we launched this September after many trials, many discussions with partners and with stakeholders to see what is needed there. So what we aim to do in the marketplace is to bring everyone there. Our services to be there. Your services can be there. And the common thing that we have is that we all want to convey the message and demonstrate to everyone what is our mission, what we are doing, and that's why we are presenting today our programs. So Joist Marketplace is a place where someone can connect with other companies. It's a B2B platform. Someone can demonstrate their services. They can connect with others. They can express their needs, just posting a challenge. They can find the services they want, and they can receive also custom services. It is a platform where we plan to transfer all our services there, and we plan also to invite all our partners to have their services there. This is a form of an exchange we can do. And the exciting thing about Joist Marketplace is that brings to reality whatever is happening and that we are achieving in the physical space of our innovation hub. We can transfer it to the digital space, and combining these two, we can make what we say a connected innovation ecosystem where all opportunities, expertise, all resources are gathered in one place. So all our partners, all the businesses that we serve can have actual access there. So what happens? See it as a bridge. You have on one side businesses that are seeking for digital transformation solutions, and you have on the other side service providers and businesses that are able to deliver this effectively. Sorry for this. It's a So you have this bridge, and you have these two sides: businesses that are searching for digital transformation solutions, and you have service providers that can bring this to reality. So if these two are in this marketplace, whenever there is a match, they can start collaborating easily, seamlessly. They can have a contract in the marketplace, and with security and transparency to start working together. So whenever we have requests that we cannot cover, we can let's say, suggest your services. We can assign these clients to you. And the same happens with your cases. So the most exciting part of the marketplace, and this is why we focused on this presentation, is that this is not only for Joist. It is for all of us. We have an affiliation program where each of us can bring their network to the platform, and soon enough, we can all be there. I mean, innovation clusters, innovation parks, the companies and the startups that we have today, we can be all together in one digital space that is for free. I mean, you can register for free, you can create your own self with services for free, you can invite your network, and the only case where someone pays in the platform is as soon as they manage to have a new client and successfully finish together a contract, and you give the referral commission to the platform. What happens in real market, just in a digital, faster, and more transparent way. So this is the QR code, and it has been a long day, but tomorrow we will be all together again here. So I invite you to search on the website to attend your registration. Visit us tomorrow on TechBox, and encourage also your companies to visit us. And of course, we are going to include this in the future operations of the Alliance. Thank you.
Thank you, Ira. So as we can see, it's not about the services that tech parks actually show. It's about the whole community. So all these shared initiatives, they can become one. So we are the one through the Alliance. So moving on, I think we can call it off for today, and we can move on to the dinner that is here, and later on the VIP dinner that we have on the new space. Thank you very much for your attention.